Hey everybody, we are in day 177 in our Bible reading plan, and 2 Kings 4 through 6 and Proverbs 3, 13 to 25. Great proverb, great reading, so many awesome miracles to encourage you and remind you that our God is a God of the miraculous. So if you're waiting for a miracle, don't give up, just keep trusting the Lord. Here's a big idea. The purpose, why does God do the miraculous? The purpose of the miraculous is to draw people back to God by confronting the evil or comforting the hurting, or both. First, we start with miracles of the oil, Elisha and the widow's oil. By the way, Elisha did twice as many miracles as Elijah. He got a double portion, and it was, in fact, twice as many. And so first there's the woman who had nothing in the house except a jar of oil. And that's all you need when you're with the Lord. You give him what you have. And so she goes out and gathers more. The miracle of the oil, God keeps coming. He does what she cannot do as she does what she can do. Then we meet the Shunammite woman who had made a space for the man of God, and she asks for nothing. She's so afraid to ask, and yet Elisha has eyes, and he says she needs a son. In fact, he prompts the servant Gehazi's like, well, she doesn't have a son, and so they want to give her something as a thank you, and so he gives her a son, and she's so happy, but he gets to be a few years old, maybe 10 or so, and he dies, and then she's devastated, like the woman, by the way, with Elijah. In 1 Kings 18, the widow who basically says, man, I didn't ask you to come. Are you bringing back my old sin? And so this woman runs in 2 Kings chapter 4, the Shunammite runs to Elisha. She doesn't talk to anybody. And she says, dude, did I ask you to come? Did I ask for a son? And you know what happens again? The Lord, in his grace, resurrects the son. And what a word of encouragement to anyone who has been waiting and thought God was doing something and then saw the death of a dream, and just trusting that God can revive that which is dead, and just wait to see his power. And so then we meet Naaman, who by faith gets us an awesome story of faith. We could spend hours talking about Naaman, the Syrian. God extends his grace to the Syrian. By the way, in the New Testament, Jesus refers to Naaman's faith and to the Shunammite, the widow of Zarephath. So pretty awesome stories here, both foreigners, but had faith in the Lord. And so he resists us at first, but then he comes through. And then we get to chapter 6. A random miracle of the axe head recovered. Maybe a reminder that God cares about the details. This was a borrowed axe, and it seems in a sense like, who cares? But God cares. And then there's this awesome story of the servant cannot see the protection of the Lord, and he's freaking out. And Elisha says, open his eyes that he may see. I don't even know where to rest my mind today on all the awesomeness in these readings. And so Elisha prays, and the Lord opens the eyes, and there's a horde of angels and armies and soldiers around them. And maybe today that's your take home, that God would open your eyes to see that no matter what you're facing, the God who is in you and for you is greater than the enemy who is around, who is threatening you and around you. And then we end with Ben-Hadad's siege of Samaria. So there's a famine, and the king, maybe Joram is thought to be at the time, he's blaming Elisha. He hates him. Why? Because his dad is Ahab and Jezebel. And Elisha, we're going to see tomorrow, will predict food. But for today, let's end on this note of the miraculous. Maybe you're hurting and you need comforting. Let's pray that God will answer us in ways that are above and beyond what we could ask or think. That's who our God is. I love this God. I hope you do too. Take care.